Hello everyone, I'm Keely and this is Voice of a Creative, and today I'm here to show you my March and April makes. So it has been a little while since I shared a video, and that's mainly because I've just been super busy with getting back into the swing of things at school. I am an art teacher at secondary school level, and things going back after the lockdown we had kind of January, February has been a bit manic, and it's taken a lot of time to get used to being back in school, especially with my differing energy levels now that I'm still getting used to. So I haven't managed to get much sewing done. I've worked on quite a few things but haven't got many things finished. I'm struggling more to find the time on a weekend to sew. On weeknights I'm just too tired, and then on weekends I'm trying to catch up with other things, doing a little bit of work, tidying my house, seeing people as well. And so I am finding that I'm doing a lot less sewing, and I think that's also partly to do with the fact that I feel at the moment that I've got plenty of clothes in my wardrobe, so I'm not necessarily looking to replace anything quite yet. So I made one thing in March and one thing in April, so I'm just going to share those with you. It would be lovely if you could share what you've been sewing down in the comments, because I've really missed talking to people in the comments on my videos. So the first thing I made was this. This is the Plantain Tee by Deer-and-Doe. And this is a pattern that I make quite a lot of. I feel like is a really good fit for me. This one is actually a bit of a refashion. So I'll just stand up and show you the fabric. So it's this lovely teal and navy with the pink flowers. And I got this from Stoff Stil. It's a really beautiful fabric, and I had made it into my very first Georgie dress by Sew Over It. And I made it as per the instructions for the Georgie dress, which meant that it had a viscose jersey lining and then the normal fabric. And when I put it on, there were other fit adjustments, which I talk about in the video where I made it, which I think was about a year ago now. But I couldn't wear it. It was way too thick up top with the 2 layers of fabric, and it just felt very tight, very uncomfortable, and it was just too heavy across my chest and back. And so I had planned to take it apart, take the lining out, and then add like a band to finish off the neckline. But because I'd overlocked it, I'd gotten rid of all of my seam allowances, and overlocking it takes a long time to unpick, and actually then I'd have to unpick it and sew exactly the same seams again. So I decided to turn it into a t-shirt. So I used the skirt part mainly to cut out the back and front, and I used the bodice to cut out the sleeves. So I didn't quite have enough length in the skirt to cut the full t-shirt, so that's why I've got this lovely patch shoulder detail. So what I decided to do is, because I still wanted it to be a t-shirt, and actually I've done this kind of thing before where you add a strip across the top of the shoulder, and I think it creates a really lovely design for a t-shirt, and it also means that you can use up scraps of fabric, also make a t-shirt out of a dress. So I used a matching Viscose Jersey, which is one from Lamazi fabrics, to go with it. And then I've got the shoulder panels, and then the sleeves are in the same. At the back, I've also got a panel lock running along the top, and then just a join just there, and then the normal fabric. Now, what I do to create this is I have the paper pattern piece, I fold it over at the appropriate place. So I just fold it, make sure it's parallel to the fold line, and then I cut out that pattern piece. Then what I do is get a strip of the green, this fabric, and I stitch it to it, then lie it flat and press it, and then lie the pattern piece on it again and cut round that element. That way I don't have to worry about like adding seam allowance and things like that, because I've already sewn them together, and I just basically cut it out like it's one piece of fabric. And the same with the back. The important thing with it is to just match up the grain lines and make sure that that's all running the correct way, the same way. But I feel like it worked out really nicely, and it's just an extra little detail to the t-shirt. With the Plantain Tee, I make a size 42, and I often make 3/4 sleeve versions, but this is a shorter sleeve. I would have liked a 3/4 sleeve version, but I didn't actually have enough fabric to be able to do that. So let me stand up and show you. So this is my plantain tee. So just the normal length that it comes in. I really like this length, and it just eases out over the hips. So I don't make any adjustments to this pattern. The only thing I have done, and I've got my neckline video which shows you this, but I have brought the neckline up by 1.5 inches because otherwise it comes down here and that's a little bit too low for me. So yeah, really happy with this t-shirt. I'm glad that the dress is now out of my work in progress pile and I've actually got a wearable garment. So let me get changed into the next garment. So this is my next garment. This is the Elliott tee by Helen's Closet, and I make a size 12 to 14, and I feel like that fits me really nicely for a loose fit raglan sleeve jumper or t-shirt depending on what I'm making. So this fabric was actually gifted to me from Lamazi Fabrics in exchange for a blog post, and it's this beautiful organic knit. It's a Mind the Maker fabric and it's an organic slub jacquard. So this fabric is 100% knit, so there's no elastane, and that did affect me while I was sewing it. And I think that if you do choose to buy this fabric, that's something to bear in mind. I totally love the finished garment. I feel really cute in it and I absolutely love the colour. This fabric comes in a lot of different colours as well, but it was a little tricky to sew just because I didn't bear in mind the idea of it not bouncing back quite as much as a fabric with elastane in. So this is just 100% cotton knitted, and that's what gives it stretch, the like knitted weave, whereas normally like a cotton jersey has elastane and cotton in it, and that allows it to bounce back. So this fabric's really suitable for looser fitting garments. I would really like to try it in a cardigan pattern, but it did work with this well, I thought. So the only thing that potentially you may struggle with, might be a bit tricky, is the neckline. And actually Mind the Maker have a selection of matching ribbings which you can use. And actually if I was to make this again, I would probably use one of the matching ribbons for just the neckband. So I think that would have made the job a lot easier because it was a little bit fiddly for me to put in. So I went for the standard 3/4 sleeve version. I lowered the neckline just a little bit as well, and I just adjusted the neckband to suit that. And then I just went for a standard length. I didn't add the side splits as are in the Elliott tee and sweater pattern. So let me stand up and show you the fabric in a bit more detail. So you can see that it's got these lovely joins across it, and then a kind of texture with the marl, lighter and darker areas. I actually really love the texture of this fabric. You can see it's a plain, but at the same time it has some texture to add just a little bit of depth when you're wearing it. So really cute fabric. And I think this is going to be lovely to wear this time of year when it's a bit chillier, and then kind of bring it out again in autumn. It is surprisingly warm. Given it's a knit fabric, I thought it would be slightly cooler, but it's really snuggly and warm. And that's why I think it'd be great for a little cardigan to put on top of a lighter summer or spring top or dress. But yeah, it's really cozy and really comfy as well. Let me just stand up and show you the whole thing. This length is not the same length as the longer version. I kind of cut it in the middle because I wanted it to come just below my hip bone. So my hip bone's here, so it comes just below. And then from the back as well, just the straight cut across with the hem. You can see the 3/4 length sleeves. So it's just a lovely loose fit casual jumper. And I finished the hem just by overlocking the edge and then stitching it down, and then the same with the sleeve. I folded that over twice and then just stitched it down with matching thread. Then the neckline, so I've stitched that on and then I've top stitched it down as well. If you want to read my blog post like this make, I will link it down below on the Lamazi Fabrics website. And I will also link the fabrics and patterns that I've mentioned as well. I am pleased with the things that I have made in the last 2 months, and I do have a few more makes planned, especially after watching the Fold Line Spring Trends video. I want to get on and make some of those spring plans that I made a couple of months ago and actually go through and make some of those things, because I haven't had a chance yet, and I do think that it would be nice to have a few new garments to just freshen up my wardrobe. And it being Me Made May at the moment, I'm definitely thinking more about the clothing that I'm wearing each day. What do I really like about it? How can I style things slightly differently? And thinking about my wardrobe and the things that I wear constantly, things that I'm not wearing. I'm thinking about going through my wardrobe again, like I did with my Developing My Dream Wardrobe video series, going through my wardrobe, picking out the things that I'm not wearing, maybe donating them or giving them away to friends and family, and then having a look at what I want to make more of, so I can really update my wardrobe to be my kind of dream wardrobe, as it were. Hopefully I'll be back with you soon with another video. I'm not buying fabric at the moment. I haven't bought any in the last month, so I'm not doing a fabric haul, and I need to catch up with my spring plans because I haven't really been sewing much. But if there are any types of videos that you would like to see from me, then also comment them down below, because I really like the community on YouTube and talking to people in the comments and sharing my makes and things with you, and I would really like that to continue, even if it's a few less videos, because I don't have quite as much energy as I had before. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please press the thumbs up and subscribe if you want to hear more from me. Goodbye.